Welcome, welcome, welcome. Go ahead and share my tuned in. Minute, y'all. Back, welcome back. A lot of news go on today. A lot of news, a lot of flash shootings. Welcome to another Ray Karuse. Hendrick, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome back to another episode of Untitled Opinions and Who Asked You, brought to you by your boy Ray Karuse. Thank you. Now, this week's episode, we're gonna do a little bit different. We're gonna try some things out, discuss some things, discuss more topics than we normally talk about. We'll try to stay on track of the entitled opinions and the who asked yous. But we have a lot to discuss. A lot of things been happening. A lot of things been going on. So let's stay tuned. All right. I hope some of y'all read the disclaimer, but let's go ahead and start off. How y'all been, man? It's been a minute. Been a little while. A lot of things been going on. You know. I hope you've been good. Holidays has been here. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. If you had a good Thanksgiving, hope you guys ate a lot of turkey. Hope you guys had a good time. Let me go ahead and turn this TV down. I think this TV is a little too loud. Thank you. Oh shit! See what happens? I need an assistant. That's what it is. I need an assistant. My assistant would have been like, "Let me turn the TV down for you, boss." Like, look. Anyways, a couple stuff dropped here. Stuff up here. All right. Let's go. Let's get into it. All right. Obviously, we're gonna do all this World Star, CNN, Shade Room, and tech stuff after. I thought about discussing some music today too, and my untitled opinions and who asked you. Throw some music, throw some sports betting. Go through some of my losses and wins. Go through a list of things that's been going on, not just in my life, but in the world and everything, in a broad aspect or a broad spectrum of things. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get into it. What is today? Today's Tuesday. Tuesday. All right. Wow. Let me. This is a little distracting. All right. So let's just turn to the music. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on to the untitled opinions. I have a board here of a list of things that we're going to discuss. All right. Topics and stuff like that. Yada yada. Well, let's start off with it. Let's see. Untitled opinions. My first one here is determination. Now, I think we should look up the word determination so we can get a better understanding. All right, determination. All right, firmness of purpose, res- resoluteness. All right, the process of establishing something exactly by calculation or research. That's determination. Let's see what's the true meaning of it. Yeah, the act of deciding definitely and firmly. Also, the result of such an act of decision. firm, or fixed intention to achieve a desired end. A woman of great courage and determination. Okay, determination. How are we using determination in today's society? You know, are you determined to be successful, or are you determined to be happy? Or are you just being determined, just to exist? Is that your true deciding meaning, like your decision, just to exist, and what's your determination on that? Like, how do you determine if you're just really out here existing in the world? A lot of us are determining to be great, but what happens in that process is you go through a lot of hurdles, and the hurdles can definitely deter your determination, or not even just deter it. It can make you not even want it. Okay, those roadblocks and shit would disguise it as a way to fault your determination, maybe making you believe that your determination or what you want is not really what you want. But in all actuality, it's to test to see if that is truly what you want to be your ultimate and final decision. You know, and that's how I believe life plays us, or life continues on. And again, that's just in my perspective. We all have our own different perspectives, so I'm giving you mine. Anyways, determination. I see a lot of determination on my TV. I believe the government is determined to make me buy some of these pharmaceuticals they're selling me on my TV every day on all these commercials. The TV networks and the pharmaceuticals are determined to blog you down with all these pharmaceuticals and all these medicines that are, supposed to help you. But I don't really believe it. I believe the determination in making you healthy is all in you. If you want to be healthy, you want to feel healthy, you have to make that decision to yourself to believe that and want to achieve that. You have that keep that mentality in your head, like, yeah, I'm gonna stay healthy. You can't stay healthy and go back to eating a bunch of fried shit, and then you're never doing anything with your life. That's not determination, or that's not making any adjustment to where you're trying to get the end result or to your end goal. You know what I'm saying? All right. You know what I'm saying? That's just an opinion of mine. It's just, again, these are all untitled opinions. All right. A lot of us, or what I'm seeing now, a lot of us are determined to stay out of relationships solely for the fact that they don't want to go through the ups and downs, but they rather go through the ups and downs in life, alone, solo. Which is okay, but not really, because what happens, or what I've come to understand, is when you're going through life by yourself and you don't have someone, or you don't have a pack, or you don't have a group or friends or a community that leads you to, reaching out for help. And sometimes what people see when you say you're reaching out for help, they believe you need help medically, so then they refer you to a psychiatrist or a therapist, and then that's where you're sharing your ideas and your thoughts with. It's like you're disconnecting from the world, as if your world is the only world that's living. You know what I mean? And that's okay, because that's your untitled opinion. That's how you're viewing it. That's okay. But again, there's a determination sometimes in a lot of us to be alone. And I think that is an issue. You know, I believe we should be using a lot of our determination to come together as a community, whether that is building relationships, building friendships, or building bonds, you know, or even just building a rapport. I think that's what a lot of us have stopped doing. We haven't been building rapport good enough so we can explain to people who this person is or what type of person that is. So a lot of us go out there and date blindly. You know, their determination to find love is solely off the fact of, it's not off the fact, but it's just based off something they're seeing, or of what they're said, or what they imagine. You know, this is my entitled opinion. The determination, a lot of times today in the world, is being deterred into things that's not really benefiting all of us. If that makes any sense. But again, this is just my entitled opinion. You know what I'm saying? We all have entitled opinions, but mine's is important, so you should listen. You know, because a lot of times I'm not telling you anything to benefit me. I can care less. it's not that I can care less. I ultimately know humans are going to want to live their life. I understand this part of life. Regardless of what I may say, the opinions that are told and the facts that may be presented to these people, to humans are going to make the decision that they want to make ultimately. And that's the freedom that God gave us to make the decision that we want to make that sits well with us, whether it sits well with us briefly or if it sits well with us for a long time. But it's ultimately that freedom of choice that we all get to do, get to have. So I understand that. That's why I say these are untitled opinions. Take it or leave it, but you should definitely listen to mine. But I understand if you don't. I understand if you take it in, one ear out the other. I understand. What I'm, trying to get to, I'm trying to make the world understand is that at some point, you need to have a community. You need to have a pack, a crew. It's okay for the road sometimes to be a little bit bumpy. You know, don't just get in your car and drive down the fucking Pennsylvania Boulevard or Pennsylvania Avenue or the Boston streets or the New York streets, all these fucked up roads. You're fucking up your car. You're paying money for that, but you won't invest into fixing relationships. Fixing that bumpy road that you're on in that relationship. No, you won't invest in fixing the car that you're in. You'll invest in fixing the car the people made to get you to point A and B. You know, that's just my entitled opinion. Moving on, moving on. Again, determination. That was the first one. A lot of us are determined. I'm gonna try to get on this a little bit more. A lot of us are determined to do a lot of things that aren't in the benefit of everybody else, and I think that's what fails a lot of teams, fails a lot of relationships. And it's a lot of people just being selfish, but it's okay because they're looking out for themselves or they have their own best interest in mind. But that's natural. That's natural to have your own best interest in mind. But a lot of times when you're determined with that interest in mind, is a lot of people are not seeing the benefits from that success for them. So sometimes it looks like hate, or sometimes it just looks like someone's not, following along with what you believe in. But it's not that. You know, your determination is just different from everyone else's. Again, this is all entitled opinion. Moving on, like I said, I have a whole thing. I have a lot of dots on this board here. One day I'll show you guys my board. Anyway, let's move on. How honest? Man, it sounds like I feel like I have like a runny nose or like a stuffy nose or some shit. Anyways, we'll continue on. I'm not like I have a cold or anything. Room could be a little bit dry. But anyways, moving on. How honest are some people if everything is about money? Hmm? What's my untitled opinion about that? Take a sip of a little water there. How honest are some people if everything is about money? If everything is about money, it's hard to find honest people. All right, but that goes to say for the other way around. Even if it's not about money, it's still hard. It's still hard to find honest people. Not to say that there's not honest people out there. There is, but it's just hard to find real honest people. If most things are, you know, geared for money, unless that money is backed by work of honest people, then I can understand that. But if it's not backed by the work of honest people, then that situation or that road that you're trying to go on, it's not really justifying anything for anyone that's trying to be honest or being sincere. You know, a lot of times a lot of times you're not going to get a lot of honesty and sincereness out of money or people when it regards to money. You know, money brings greed and it overpowers a lot of things because a lot of people haven't had it before. So that's just my entitled opinion. A lot of people can't be honest if it's about money. All right. If it's about money, their end goal is just solely for them. You know, it could benefit you in the long run, but it'll be benefiting them first, and then you later on. If you understand that, then you can cope with that. Then you can go ahead and move on with life as so be. You know, that's just my entitled opinion. You can find honest people with money. All right, that'll be honest with you, but you will also find a shitload of people who have money and don't want to be honest with you. And in the same breath, in that same breath, you'll find a ton of people who are honest with money, but regardless of their honesty to you, be the fact that they have money, you don't want to believe that honesty. You want to believe something else. That also plays a part into it. You know. Let's move on. Ye and Adidas cleared their beef. Untitled opinion about that. I always thought this beef between the Yeezy brand and the Adidas was gonna soon clear up because unless Kanye was gonna start his own brand and gear off from Adidas, but there's not a lot of sneaker brands now starting, you know, off their own, instead of being backed by like Nike or Adidas. So for Ye to do that, even though he helped Adidas blow up, who was buying Adidas? I say the truth, man. I probably bought like one, two pair of Adidas in my whole life. Nikes over Adidas, Jordans over everything. You know, that's just how I was raised in my society and my culture. We all wanted to be like Mike, so we bought Jordans. As I got older and we saw the Yeezy trend coming, yeah, we wanted to start buying that, and it was under the Adidas brand. We didn't even care because it looked like nothing of the fashion ideas Adidas had before. So this was new and it was great. It's inspiring. I bought that shit. You know, I definitely bought them Yeezys. Fire. As a company, I would myself. I'm like, people have differences. Of course, they're gonna have some differences and shit like that, and you can have your own ideas. I'm gonna have my own ideas, and we're gonna have cultural clashes. But I never thought in a million years that Ye will be buying himself away from Adidas. He helped that brand. A lot of that brand is owed to the help of Ye and the culture ideas that he brought to that brand. If without Ye, Adidas wouldn't be shit. You know, a lot of these sneakers that you see out today wouldn't have been shit without the help of the Ye process and the ideas that he brought to the table at Adidas. Not to say that Adidas should be fucking kissing his ass. Excuse my language, but I saw that beef clearing up. I didn't think it was gonna be a long haul battle because all these kids are wearing Yeezys and selling them. Regardless of what you do to Ye, his designs are always going to go up, 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 and more. You can hate, and then those sneakers are just gonna sell more. You know what I thought they were going to do was flush the market with more and more sneakers, but they didn't. They were incapable of doing that. When they tried to, they flushed the market, and these people were still buying them in bulks. Didn't even give a fuck. So it's more like they were still making money. They were just like, you know what, fuck it. Let's go ahead and just you know call a spade, bro. Let's just cancel this beef and let's continue working together. That's how I saw it. That's how I saw that beef going down because it was, I saw this. Ye said some shit. They were like, "Oh well, we don't stand behind that." But again, if you have freedom of speech, I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want to say, regardless of who my partners are. This is my freedom of speech. This say I don't like these people. I still work with these people. Yeah, but I don't like. So, that's just my freedom of speech. I could talk how I want to talk. I'm freely to talk this. These are my opinions. I don't think you should be, you know, excommunicado for your opinions. That's wrong. Moving on. Moving on. Young Thug came home on a plea. And another dude beat the case. Another YSL member beat the case while Young Thug took a plea. Now, my untitled opinion as a felon myself, everybody takes a fucking plea. It is strenuous. And when I say strenuous, it is by far one of the most horrible feelings you can have in your world, in your life, when you're locked up in federal prison. All right, when you're locked up in federal prison, going through federal court, going through all these trials and stuff like that, it's it's draining, you know. And a lot of times we try to see the light in it, but it gets so draining. The government works its way, and it does this for years. It works its way to break you so you don't continue this fight. And on top of that, that fight can cost you a lot of money, and then trying to recoup that is even harder because the government ain't gonna give you that shit. The federal rate, it's been that rate for the longest. People even talk about it. Like the feds have a rate of a 98% conviction. Like it's a 98% chance that the federal government is going to convict you, which leaves you with a 2% chance. You have a better chance of hitting a ticket on FanDuel than you have beating the government. Okay, you get caught by the alphabet boys, your chances are slim. They've done a lot of work. They've got people to tell lies. They got people just so they can get you in there. Someone has to take the fall. That's how the feds work. I'm glad to see Young Thug home, but to tell you the truth, he should have took that plea deal a long time ago. You should have worked that fucking plea deal a long time ago. But again, if he had did that plea deal a long time ago, I'm pretty sure they would have still locked him up and made him serve time. So right now, he got hit with the time served and then out on probation, shit like that. But it seems like if he gets into trouble, he'll be serving his maximum time. But that's how the feds work. They'll let you go out. They'll be like, all right, cool. You know, you pled guilty. That's really their thrive, because as long as you pled guilty, they can hold that against you because you've now said yes to the claims that they've made, regardless if the claims are not real or not factual. You pled guilty, so you've said yes to these claims. Now the government has you in their hand. So now that you're playing with the government, they're like, "Word, we'll let you out, but just know if we let you out, we'll in an instant put you right back in." And that's the sucky part, because now you have to play the game. You have to be on tip top toe with them, to make sure you don't go back to prison. Because who wants to fucking go to prison? That's the worst place to possibly be ever. It's fucking prison. You know, that's my opinion on it. I would have been took that plea deal a long time ago. It looked like there was too many people against him, you know, for that to even work for you. I didn't see any way working for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad they freed him up front. I'm glad he's home, and hopefully he does better. Again, these are all my opinions. Uh, looks like it's erased. So we go on to the next one. Are they still kidnapping kids? What happened to Pizzagate? That's my opinion. So yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't been hearing a lot of kidnappings on my news. I have been getting those alerts on my phone. I've gotten like one or two, but the alerts were kind of funny because the recent one I had gotten was mother no father stole well, how I put the story together, it was like father took the child from the school and left out of state with the kid, and they took that as that's kidnapping. They want the kid back because the mother didn't agree with it. So I understood that. That was an alert. I don't think that's kidnapping. Kidnapping. That's not the kidnapping I'm talking. Another one I seen with the Amber Alert was a lady took her kids and into a van and then left somewhere, and then they sent an Amber Alert for that to come back. Um, Now that I'm thinking back and it's coming back to me, there were some instances where I saw on Facebook or on Instagram where people would post that, hey, this girl is gone, this little kid's gone missing, we need to get her back. But I have done some research before on a lot of kidnapped kids. A lot of kidnapping kids, or what they call the kidnapped kids, are runaway kids. A lot of these kids are running away from what they're deeming as a bad situation at home, and they're running away either to a friend or another relative that the family's just not agreeing for them to be on. So it's just not a lot of unagreeable stuff. But when I was younger, I saw a lot more kidnappings than I did now. You know, I don't know what happened to Pizzagate. Pizzagate was a big thing. They were doing this call and they were saying that if you made a certain or if you gave certain information about a pizza, it was really for you to get a kid or a boy or some shit like that. And some person went into a pizza shop and it was a big scandal. It was a big big fucking scandal, but that's here nor there anymore. You know, big scandals now is the war between Ukraine and Russia and stuff like that. Big scandals now is fucking presidential election we just had. You know, big scandals are a lot of energy work. A lot of that shit now. Those are the big scandals. Scandals like the Diddy shit. Now that's a big scandal. Diddy's scandal or Diddy's trial has superseded Pizzagate, in my opinion. They've even brought Jay Z into it. And to tell you the truth, that's not even on my board for Untitled Opinions. This whole Jay Z being brought into the case, which I'm actually going to talk about right now. I think that is the fucking prime example of people trying to work against another group of people, and then them showing you how it's going to work. You know, Numerous times we've seen, whether it's big corporate people or the money man go against a black person who has money, and we've sided with the money man. Okay. And what happens is because we're so poor and all we believe is about the money, as I was saying before, all we see is about the money. And sometimes, honest people ain't with the money aren't really honest, and it's hard for us to back that. But a lot of times we're so poor and poor stated and poor minded that we're just gonna follow the people with the money, regardless of what the person who got the money, who might have been honest, and then was giving that back to you on the back end, but in a long return. A lot of us don't want the long return. We want the quick return. So that faults us a lot of times. So right now they're trying Jay-Z as well, saying that Jay-Z is also a part of a case with Diddy regarding, an assault against a teenage girl. And my opinion on that was like, man, imagine you being this multi-millionaire, not like you're not $50 million rich anymore. You're like $900 million rich. You're like a billionaire. You're not even like a billionaire. You are a billionaire. Imagine being close to a billionaire for years, right? Or for a decade. You've been on that rise to become a billionaire. And you're telling me with all this money that I have, I didn't see this case coming, or I didn't see this fucking scandal coming. There's no amount of money I could have that people wouldn't want to give me information. You know, that's how I see it. That's my entitled opinion. There's no amount of money a person will not give up the information. They're gonna give up that information. 500,000 to tell me who's building the case on me. They'll give you that information, regardless if it's going to sacrifice their job. They're gonna give you that information. You know, unless they feel as though that person is a dishonest person, then I can see why that could be happening. But again, even with that being said, the money sometimes outweighs the honesty, you know, and that's my entitled opinion. But to be honest with you, I don't believe as a wealthy man, you couldn't make some of these things go away before it actually come to light. You have all this money, excuse me, you have all this money in your hand or in access. When you have all that type of money, you also have a lot of stuff that comes with it. You can make a lot of stuff go away. You can make a lot of people quiet. So to me, it's just funny. Imagine. Let's trade the shoes for a moment. Imagine someone making this story for a cartel member. The cartel would easily have that person killed long time ago. The fact that you even brought this to the cartel member or someone else of cartel relation, they would have thought this was disrespect, and they would have got rid of this person. If not gotten rid of the person, they would saw what the information was, and if the information deemed to be bad and it was honest, then yes, they would have disposed of this cartel member because I'm amongst men. There's a code. There's certain things you just don't do. Regardless of the money that you have or you may not have. There's just certain things you don't do amongst men. That's just what I believe of the code. It may not apply to everybody, but it's just it's my entitled opinion. That being said, you know, all the money you could have, you can make a lot of that stuff go away. I doubt it. You know, these millionaires, billionaires are sitting around and just like waiting for people to come out and expose them. They're probably hearing about this exposure long haul before, probably sending people to, off them or give them money to quiet down. And sometimes, a lot of them don't want to take that route. But I believe a lot of them are like, why off them? This person is not, it's not real. I'm not going to waste my time to build even a case on me for killing someone who, when I didn't even do anything like that. You know what I mean? That's just my entitled opinion. But I have a lot of opinions about this case. It's it's a weird case to me because growing up, growing up, when I was coming up, there was a show called Girls Gone Wild, you know, and Girls Gone Wild was like a big, massive production, and a lot of those Girls Gone Wild were only 18, 19-year-old girls fresh out of high school into college doing wild shit. And these were white men recording them, exposing them, having you know, having sexual contact with them, doing lewd shit with them. That person ended up getting sued, and the maker of Girls Gone Wild. I believe he even beat that or had did some time and then got out. But regardless of the case, there's a lot of that type of shit that was condoned or that was normal growing up. You know, growing up, it was normal for this high school girl to want to date this college guy who's about to get out of college. She may only even be a junior, you know. That was normal in my time and growing up. Now it's frowned upon. It's like, oh my God, you can't be doing that. It's looked at differently. Growing up, they were exposing a lot of these 18 plus fresh young girls because that was the hype. You get you a fresh young girl. But now today's society is look upon that like people have mental issues. That's a mental health issue. They need to be taken away. They're manipulating these people. And in some sense I can see that, but in some sense I'm like, okay, if that's the case, then we have to draw back to the creators of this shit cuz we didn't just wake up doing this. Like we were a lot of us are programmed and taught these things. And they don't want to believe that, but it's true. You can't tell me growing up, Girls Gone Wild, the movie American Pie, um, Mardi Gras, from pay-per-view shows, or real TV. There was a lot of things, or real sex that was on HBO, I believe. There was a lot of these shows, a lot of that fucking Jerry Springer. There was a lot of these shows condoning, you know, the younger girls, the 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 sexualness of young women. So if these guys are gonna be getting, indicted or getting claims against, and then all grown men that own most of these companies from far back. If you were born in the 80s, born in the 70s, born in the 60s, then you should be covering at your house, you know, boarding up your doors in hopes that they don't come to look for you too, because it looks like we're all a part of this. You know, we're all a part of it. And again, it's not just the male culture that was doing it. The women were doing it as well. Back then, young boys was a thing. The young boy bands, this was a thing. This is now, it's just not, brand new. This was a thing. These women, regardless of their age, liked younger boys. And they didn't call it manipulating then. They wasn't calling, oh, they're manipulating these young men. No, but it has to be the older men manipulating these women, which is the crazy thing. But that's my entitled opinion. And again, I have a daughter. I would hate for my daughter to want to do these type of things, but again, she'd be free to because that's her mind and her body and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's her life, but I would hate for her to do that. Let's go ahead. Let's go on. A lot of these are like smudged. I think somebody went on to my shit. Um, the internet has made everything fake. That's the bold statement. I'll give my entitled opinion about that. The internet has made everything fake. It is extremely hard to decipher from the information that's brought to you by the internet. Unless you know how to use the internet wisely, unless you're well educated on how to use the internet, then you will never know how to get the true information. Information will be brought to you onto your screen, and you will be given the chance to either believe it or not. It'll be brought to you again on your screen in the form of an ad. You'll choose to want to believe it or not. It'll be brought to you again in the form of you scrolling down your timeline, and you'll be given the chance to want to believe it or not. Unless you're one of those that wants to dig into the internet, do all the checking and do all the background checking. Yeah, a lot of the shit we see on the internet, false information. All right. If it's not false information, a lot of the pictures that are brought to you on the internet are brought to you in false resolution. If it's not false resolution, they've edited the picture. They've done everything possible to make the picture and the pixelation more better for you. All right. And then on top of that, your brain is going to then create what it believes you want to believe that you would like to believe that you would like to believe to see what you want to see. All right. That's the fucking bullshit that we're going through. You know, before the internet was so massive, we really only had papers, magazines, and then there were laws created that the magazines and the newspapers had to, title and do all this background checking, or had to reference wherever they got that information because they couldn't provide you with false information. They'd have to reference everything. You can find the references and then refer back to it. But in the internet age, motherfucker put anything on the internet, and then it's here for you to choose to want to believe it or not. You know, they it's just insane. Nothing is really real. Um, we're going to the next topic. Y2K started the CGI world. What's my opinion on that? I believe that is true. I believe before the year 2000, before that, we were all scared about the millennium coming. Movies were made different. Movies felt different. Movies even looked different. As soon as 2000 came, that's when the movie world, the images and the production all changed drastically. We started to move from, minimal use of computer programming to more use of everything being computerized inside of the movie besides just the actor himself, you know? And then that's not even the end. They're also computerizing the actors. They'll have the actor there, but they'll also create a computer image behind it with that you're not able to see because they've already masked the images with a background image and then the real scene image and all that. But normally this is all put out to you on and the programmer's image in a shape of a regular design or of a 3D design. So when they see the design, they are seeing, scales. So on that scale, they're drawing the actor, on that scale. They're just picturing it out. You don't see this because obviously you're watching the movie. But now as we've gotten, into the time of CGI on the bootlegs, you can see this. Here, that's a prime example. Back then's bootlegs, when this was a bootleg back then, you can tell this was a bootleg. Someone went in there, taped it, and people were walking by. Today's bootlegs are unfinished productions. It's really the production given to you where you can see where they haven't finished all the editing. And that lets you know exactly how much computer is affecting the movies. Because now you're seeing all the editing. You're like, oh my god, because when you actually go to the movies and see the movie after all the shit, you know, you're like, oh wow, that wasn't in the bootleg that I saw. In the bootleg, I actually saw what they were using to make this shit work, which is my when I'm going back to how I believe CGI has took over the whole world, and we, as the consumers, we didn't pay attention to it. I'm pretty sure some of us are, but we've gotten to that. We've definitely gotten to that where CGI is just taking over everything. to the video games, to the acting, to the channels, the TV. It's everything. Everything. Your face is being computerized. You know what I mean? I can't even tell that's your real face because they possibly, edited and did all type of shit. They don't even just do the makeup anymore. They'll fucking edit the film. They'll edit the content so your face doesn't look like that. Moving on. Why is traffic only getting worse? I believe on other podcasts I've talked about the traffic. It's possible. But what I've come to understand, and it's my entitled opinion, is where a lot of us are so in a rush or need to get somewhere that the distance we're trying to give you will not successfully move traffic along. All right. I need to get to where I need to go. With that mentality, I'm riding behind you. Which then when you break, suddenly or break quickly, that instant break, now I have to instantly break, that causes a domino effect of traffic behind me. Now everyone has to brake or has to adjust to the braking of someone before them. This causes traffic. And then when you do that and you move and switch lanes, this causes traffic for the second lane now because now you started a slow domino effect causing more traffic. But no one understands that because everyone is just like, I need to go, I need to go, I need to go. When in all no actuality, a lot of us just need to leave the house a little bit earlier, you know, just a little bit earlier, you know, or a lot earlier. That's just my opinion. I believe that also there's a lot of old people on the road that shouldn't be driving anymore. Someone should be driving them. They came out with Uber, but what they should have come out was a program for a lot of older people to get where they need to be getting without having to have them drive. That's just my opinion. Moving on. Oh yeah, you see, I could feel like a little stuffiness. I feel it, but it is. It's what it is. What it is. Um, Being alone is only peaceful when there is an ultimate goal being achieved. An example, enlightenment. Um, that's in my opinion. I can say that's that's some truth to it. You know, my entitled opinion. I don't believe anybody should be alone. You know, regardless of what you believe in, I don't believe anybody should be alone. Not even the trees are alone. The tree grows from a stump into a tall tree and it has branches and it feeds the world. It's never alone. It has plenty of interaction and it's everywhere. So I don't believe anyone should ever be alone. I think being alone, a lot of people are making solely their choice because of again of ideas or that were given to them or they may have seen and they may have not gone through a real relationship to understand what happens, but the fact that they're scared is just enough for them not to go along and create a bond or a relationship. So that's yeah. So being alone is only peaceful when there is an ultimate goal. Yeah, if you're looking to become a doctor, yeah, it should be you shouldn't you're not really alone, but yeah, you should be focusing on that goal, you know. And yeah, it's not to say that some people can't focus on the goal and create a relationship at the same time, but a lot of time that could bring a lot of strain on the person and the other end of the relationship. So it is okay for you to be alone, walk in this world, you know, bonding with people, but keeping your relationship solely to yourself because you have an ultimate goal. But in the same breath, you can't lose yourself solely for that ultimate goal. That ultimate goal doesn't have to be achieved solo. You know, you should learn how to, as a human society, we need to learn how to, bring peace everywhere or find peace everywhere, you know, not just alone. You don't need to be alone to be peaceful. It shouldn't be that. That's my entitled opinion. And you should be also you should be able to find peace chasing your goal or getting to your ultimate goal and having the opportunity with sharing that with someone else. You know, it shouldn't have to affect the ultimate goal of being of whatever needs to be achieved. As humans, we should be able to balance that. That's just my opinion. That's just my entitled opinion. All right. Let's go down this list. Pharmacist versus the drug dealer. All right. You know what's crazy? I rather neither. All right. You know why I rather neither? The pharmacist is just as worse as the drug dealer. All right. Because there's some it's bad to say there's some good drug dealers and there's some bad drug dealers. There's some people who sell drugs who test their product out and don't want to sell you bad product. But there's also in the same hand people who get product and don't and care less what the fucking product does to you, or if you come back, or if it kills you. The fact that they got the money is just good enough for them. But the real drug dealer, the real hustler, the man that's running the drugs and all that, they're trying to provide you with a drug that will keep you alive enough for them to continue getting that money. But again, like I said before, there's also some bad guys that get in their game and they'll make a drug or give you the drug, produce the drug, and it'll kill people, but they're just getting the money, and maybe it'll be killing people and they'll water it down a little bit so it'll kill less people. It'll still kill more people, but they'll still sell it. That's why I said there's no real difference between the pharmacist and the drug dealer. They're both the same. To tell you the truth, they're worse now. You know, they're worse now. Back then, that you was a crack dealer, you was out here selling crack and shit. You was throwing, you know, lavish balls. You was giving turkeys out. Kids was getting Christmas presents, block parties. These pharmacists ain't doing none of that. These pharmacists, these pharmaceutical places are putting up ads for medications that should be helping you, and in the same breath, they're damaging you in the long run. You can have a problem with your leg. They'll give you a medication for your leg, and the same medication that you're getting for your leg is fucking up your heart, or it's fucking up another part of your body in the long run. Fuck up your kidney, your lungs, anything like that. You know, and a lot of these commercials are telling you the side effects, and if you hear the side effects, it's even worse than the condition that you may be having. You know, so no, there's no real difference between the pharmacist now. I think the pharmacist is the drug dealer. I think the pharmacists are worse than the cartel. I believe the cartel is always trying to make better dope, but they're like, people love dope. I can't just stop selling the dope. If I stop selling the dope, they're just gonna go find the dope, and who wants that? That's what I believe the pharmacists are doing. The pharmacist is like, I've already started. I can't stop. But they can stop, but they don't want to because people as a society they're just always looking for more medication instead of just looking for another remedy. It's like just being without the pills and stuff. But a lot of people just they need it, so they pharmacists and the farming companies make a lot of money. They make big bucks off of that. They thrive on the weak. You know, just as drug dealers. But the drug dealers ain't, knocking at your door and ain't posting ads. They just post it up, you know. They didn't give you a condition. You got that condition from somewhere else. And the drug dealer just happens to have that. But the pharmacist is telling you they can make you better again. But in all actuality, they're not really making you better. And they're just keeping you on a wheel, like a hamster wheel. Disgusting. Moving on. Moving on. Oh, let's see here. How long can you really go without work? Work meaning employment or work meaning money? How long can you really go without making money? I think that's what I was trying to get there. That all determines or all depends on the person. Obviously, we walk by a lot of bums, but is it fair to say that these bums are really going without money because they're out there begging? You know, a lot of programs are out there helping bums. So are they really going out there just not, you know, are they really going without? And is it fair to say that? No, I don't think so. So I don't. I think it's hard to go long without work, without working. You know, without working for somebody. Because how long are you going to do that for? I believe the mind is so programmed that it needs some type of work, you know? And at some points in the brain, it doesn't believe that it's called work. And then a lot of times a lot of people don't have this knowledge or education in physics, in a lot of physics, that's called a lot of walking, a lot of energy, that's called work. You know, it may not be you put clocking in, but a lot of that stuff to make energy and to get energy is called work. You know, that's just some education given to you. But I don't think people or humans can go long without it. I think a lot of us are doing work when we don't even know we're doing work. And it could be like cleaning. That's working. You're doing work. So I don't think we can go long without really doing work. I think the body, the mind needs to do something, you know? And again, you may not see it as work, but that is work. They say walking is work. You're moving your legs, you're walking, that's work. You know, they could turn that into energy in some places. They could turn that walk or that run that you're doing into energy that's provided, that's work, I don't. The dead is the only one that's not really caring for work. They're laid up already. That's just done. There ain't no more work. You know what I'm saying? That's my entitled opinion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, let's see how long we've been doing this. How long? What time do I got right now? 11:30. Oh, we've only been doing this for 51 minutes, almost close to an hour. Okay, we got a little few more on the board we can get through. A few more. All right. Let's go ahead. Is it really some people's objective to keep you single? Bullshit. I don't think it's no one's objective to keep you single. I believe if you're single, it's because you want to be single. No one's out here making you single. You're single because you either have these preferences that are too high, no one believes in the preferences, or no one believes in some of the bullshit that you're spitting out. Or you just lost your faith in humanity and you're just single. But people aren't subjecting you to being single. You know, People might test your relationship or test you being with someone, but they're not testing you so you can be back in the single pool. That's not it. That's an ultimate human choice. A human is making that ultimate choice to be alone, off just based off of things they're seeing. It's not really based off any facts. Some may be facts, but a lot of it is not. That's just my entitled opinion. It's not no one's objective to keep you single. No one wants to keep you alone. That's insane. I think that's just the mind telling you things that you don't, to make you cope with the idea of being alone, or what I'm saying, or some shit like that. Anyway, let's go. Continue on. Single life spending versus couple married spending. Yeah, I believe it's better to establish a relationship with someone or establish a marriage with someone so you guys can, you know, bring your finances together and save as a group. Because saving as a single person is good, because it's solely you, but you're just saving though that ends on your own. When you have multiple incomes coming through, that's multiple, that's more dollars, that's less time you had to put in and more dollars coming in because it's not just one person, it's two now. But in the same sense, when you're a couple and when you're married, a lot of stuff, a lot of more expenditures and more spending comes with that because now you have more, responsibilities. You may have to take care of a child, or children or a family and things like that. But in the single life, it's more of, you just possibly taking care of a parent. You're not really, and that's subjective or that's optional. Some people put their parents in a home, but they still have to work for that. So that's single life spending. I think it's better to spend, as a couple or as a marriage, or to spend and save as a group, as a collective, than to be out there, the single life spending. Because at the single life spending, you're just spending frivolously just for shit that for at the time being you needed to fulfill. You know, like, oh, I bought that Ferrari. two-seat Ferrari. Yeah, I'm single, alone, I'm out here just yeah. At the time, it'll appease you. It'll be good for you. And then you can buy another Ferrari. You can buy another Ferrari. But after a while, you'll be Ferrari'd out. That single life exponential of these Ferraris will won't appease you anymore. Now you're just chasing and chasing and chasing. And that's what happens a lot of times. People just be chasing so much in that single life. It's just like they're chasing the next high. When really ultimate, the next high would be to create a bond, establish a bond with someone else. So now that as a group, they can enjoy the excitement. They can enjoy the fruits of labor. You know what I mean? Just my entitled opinion, but who gives a fuck? Everybody should give a fuck. I be trying to tell y'all. Don't listen to a lot of these people because a lot of people don't want to be honest with you. On the other hand, will be honest with you. I'll be brutally honest with you. You know what I mean? Because I don't really care. I don't care if you take my honesty or if you take what I give you and don't want to believe it. But what you could always say is that, yo, yeah, he told me. Yeah, he did tell me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't have no reason to lie to you. No reason to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm gonna provide you my opinion, what I believe is true and what I believe should be, you know what I mean, how you should go about things or how you should not go about things. But that's just my untitled opinion. Take it with a grain of salt or don't take it. All right. Let's move. Let's move on. All right. Are we moving away from what? Are we moving away from parents to feel more in control? Are we moving away from parents to feel more in control? That is a good question. That is, I've seen a lot of people move away from their parents, and a lot of them move back. I'm not too for sure what that's the reason is for. I think it's a lot of times it could be a family thing, cultural thing, or it could be a finance thing. They get away from the family, and some of the places they go to, they don't have the finances to cover it. So going back to the family, it's just financially sound. The family can help you get to where you need to go. It's my entitled opinion. But some people are moving away from their parents to feel more in control so they can have the control over their life so their parents or their family members aren't always putting in those 2 cents. But it's sometimes, again, this is my entire opinion, you need that community. All right. A lot of times, a lot of people are walking this earth blind with bad information. And when you're not given a sound community, you can keep walking around the world blindly, not knowing what you're doing is wrong or just, you're doing it wrong, improper. So it's better to always have a community, you know. Not to say that every decision you're making, you need to have us, an opinion on, but you need to be taught well before you go out there and make these sound decisions on your own, you know. You need to see success first before you go out there and believe you're out there being successful, you know. Just my entitled opinion. Moving on. Okay. Shit. You know what's crazy? I had a water opened already, and here I am opening another water. Nostalgia. I think a lot of shit is nostalgia. I think we're diving deep into being more nostalgic, you know. Even though they're getting rid of the shit that was, to make nostalgic more better. Like they got rid of VHS, but they got rid of tapes and gave you, streaming services. So even though they're getting rid of those things, you're still able to feel that nostalgia of those old movies, even though that old movie's being ran on your 1080p pixel. It's not, the same like you saw it before. Terminator doesn't look like the same when you watch it on your old grandma's TV, but you're still getting that feel of watching that Terminator. I believe a lot of us are still doing things just off the base of nostalgia. I found myself eating these sour string candies, and I was like, man, I'm honestly only really eating this because I remember when I was a young kid, my mother used to bring me these. If my mother never brought me these, I wouldn't even go to the store and eat this shit. It's nostalgia. A lot of us are doing things because of a past time, you know, and we're not really trying to let it go, but it's just normal to us, you know, that feeling of what we've, known to or we're used to. That's just my entitled opinion. I could be ultimately wrong. Who gives a damn? Oh, let's continue on. Thieves versus liars. Ooh, okay. Which one is worse? Is that what we're asking here, or are we trying to break it down? I think a thief is worse than a liar. To tell you the truth, a thief is going to just steal it, you know, and they're possibly stealing it for, not even possibly, they're stealing it for no goodness for you. There's nothing nothing possible good could come out of this thievery for you. You're being a victimized. But in the same, to go against the liar, a person could be lying to withhold the truth to protect you. A lot of us have witnessed that. A lot of us has gone through that. To a lot of liars, to protect us from something that we don't want to listen or hear or see. And I rather the liar than the thief. I rather someone lie to me about something that happened than someone steal something from me or steal time from me or anything like that. The thief is the worst. A liar you can work with, but a thief, this person's just gonna thief everything. Ideas, concept, money, whatever they can get their hands on, they're gonna take, you know. At least the liar is just giving you a lie. They're just buying time or just to put up a cloud of smoke. This thief is putting up a cloud of smoke and taking. The worst type of person. Racism still exists, but not with white people. What? Yeah, I believe that. I believe racism exists everywhere here in America. All right, I think it's an agenda here in America. Racism, it's a big agenda here in America. Um, that being said, my opinion on the racism still exists. It's it still exists because as a people we don't understand that we're going against a system. A lot of us are just seeing. A lot of us are coping with the system or condoning the system. A lot of us are not condoning the community. They're condoning the system. They're like, fuck what you think. The system works, and we'll ride with the system. Ultimately, the system doesn't work. The system needs to be fixed. So that creates a lot of racism. So with that being said, the racism begins here in America. It started with the white people and black people, and it got dragged out. And what happens now is a lot of people migrate to America, and when they migrate to America, and a lot of Americans only see them in a hue. Okay, regardless of where you migrated from, when you come to America, your hue is more important. Your the color that you came here. You could have migrated from Africa and been a white person from Africa, right? And you can call yourself African, but when you step foot in America, you are a white man. You can say you're a white African man. No one's trying to, this, degrade you that or take that from you. But what they're going to say is what's being presented to me is your skin color, and that skin tone is this whiteness. You can say you can even have the dialect of Africans and have you know, and even talk like that, even sound like them. They don't. No one here in America gives a fuck. We don't. Your skin color ultimately defines where you stand in line here in America. That's my entitled opinion, right? You can be you can be Brazilian. You can be the darkest Brazilian on the planet, the blackest Brazilian on the planet. As soon as you step foot in America, America is going to go ahead and return and classify you as one of the black people here in America. And in return, you're going to declassify yourself and say, no, 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 I'm not black, I'm Brazilian. America will then open its mouth and say, I don't give a shit. When it's time for the reaper to come or it's time for the man to come and justify certain shit, or if they find you in a crowd with certain people, your skin color is going to ultimately determine who you stand with. You know what I'm saying? That's how that shit works here in America. So yes, racism still does exist, but not just for white people. It exists everywhere here. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people migrate here and they're not fighting that fight that we fight here. on the ground. You know, a lot of people migrate here and they'll tell you, no, I'm not black. I'm not. No, I'm not black. I'm not black. I'm this. I'm this. I'm Ethiopian. I'm da 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 da. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we get it. We get your your culture and where you come from and your background. But now that you've come into America, America has a different fight on the ground, and you need to be a part of that. And I think that's where a lot of us are not being told that, or a lot of us miss that note. You can migrate here to America, sure, migrate in the millions and the billions. We don't care. The only thing is that we care about is that you helping us with the fight that's on the ground here in America. And if you're not helping, then you are part of the problem. Okay? There's issues going on in America and you migrated here. You need to now, understand that you are part of those problems that are happening in that country now. Yes, there was other problems back in your home country, but now that you're here working here and you're trying to be successful and, change your life here, you're now fighting the fight with the people on the floor here in this country. You got to be a part of that. You can't be a separatist. Can't come into this country, you know, from you can't from anywhere. You can't come from England to America, reap all the benefits from America and turn around and say, well, I'm English. I'm from England. I'm not helping fighting the problems on the ground here. I'm not helping fighting, the healthcare. I'm not helping fighting the employment issue, the employment crisis. I'm not helping fighting any of that. I just come here to work and then go back to my country. Yeah, that's a problem because here in America we have issues on the ground. If there's a kid walking on the street and he gets shot by a policeman, this may not be a country, but you should see a problem with that. You now live in this country. You should fight with us to help us fix that problem so it doesn't happen to maybe someone of your other culture that's going to come here in this country and possibly have a kid. You know, that's the whole thing about me. That's what I believe. My untitled opinion. All right. Um, let's see. Let's see. We gotta look at the time. I was at 11:30 when I got here. 11:45. We've been an hour into it. All right. Already an hour into the podcast. I did have a little more stuff on here to go through, but I think that was enough. Good quality, good content. You know. Um, let's go through the Who Asked Yous, huh? Now, this part of my selection or this part of the podcast is called Who Asked You? Yes, yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you. In this segment of the section, we go through a lot of Who Asked Yous. Now, that could be or can be or can range from anything. Range from people at why you presenting that information to us or why you haven't presented that information to us or why you're doing such. All right. I've also go ahead and add in some sports analysts content here so we can go through some of the sports stuff and highlight some of that stuff that went through. But we'll begin on with our segment of Who Asked You. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get into it. All right. Let's get into that shit. Let's go into this. The footage released shows moment United Healthcare CEO was shot and killed outside Hilton Hotel in Manhattan. Now, who asked y'all not to find this person immediately? And now, if you look where this video is being shot and you see how many cars are out there are numerous cars that are out there. Okay. And if you are knowledgeable of guns or anything like that, this person shot this United Healthcare CEO with a fucking silencer pistol. Okay. Now, you can go buy a pistol that can fit into your palm. Now, when you add a silencer onto this pistol, it has now become two hands. You know what I mean? Now you're walking around with something that's the size of two hands. All right? It's got a little weight to it. So, with that being said, who asked y'all not to stop or jump on this man when he pulled out this long weapon? gun. Look at this shit. Look how long the nose is on that. It's protruding about 6 inches over his fucking. Come on, man. No one saw him standing around. You know what it is, and it's horrible to say this, but who asked New York not to have good security, good policemen? I always, whenever I'm in New York, especially in the city, especially in Manhattan, there's always police on the corners. Okay, if there's not police on the corners, there's a fucking sausage stand, which I swear to God is working with the police, and there's more bums who I swear to God are undercover police. The city is too crowded for you not to know or not to see this shit happening or not, or of course people not to bump into it or act or react to it. Again, who asked you to not have tighter security? Who asked you to do this? Who asked you to use, and why use the silencer? Why did it matter that you needed to kill him silently? That's what they need to be asking. Who asked you not to kill him loudly? Hmm? What was the silencer for? This, I was like, man. And on top of that, they got the person, they got him, right? They got the guy unharmed, unhurt, no bruise, no scratch, nothing on him, just chilling. They holding him, they're asking him questions. He's saying a lot of funny shit, but that's neither here nor there. Let's move on. He went to Japan for a massage, and she offered a happy ending. Masseuse was all over him. Bro could barely escape. Man, I mean, who asked you to say yes to the happy ending then? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what comes with a happy ending. It's called a happy ending. Who asked you? Passport bro takes Latina to a hidden Colombian island, breaking down the food and resort prices. Oh, yeah? Hey, why are you doing all that exposing for? Who actually do all that? That's the problem with the internet. So I was saying earlier, you know, there was a lot of secrets going around there, a lot of factions and communities where it was like it's a secret society. All we ask is trust. Internet broke all that. Internet's here to expose all that shit. Wilding out. Johnny Manziel posts bath clip with Jose Canseco's daughter. Oh shit. Jose Canseco? Josie on his birthday. Wow, he's a wild boy. Who asked you not to post that? Jose Canseco, boy. Listen, if I had, that's what I be saying. If I have money, certain type of shit like this, you wouldn't be able to do, or you would do, and there'd be consequences for this. He caught his wife doing meetups in a hotel for OnlyFans. Y'all must have been broke. Who asked you not to look into your finances to make sure your wife ain't doing this type of stupid shit? Hmm? Who asked you not to have internet internet fucking software so you can monitor what's going on with your wife? Now, if it's your girlfriend and you monitoring your girl, you doing that's a cybercrime and shit. That's reckless. But your wife, you need to be monitoring what type of fucking traffic coming in inside their fucking laptop. Anyways, Chicago hairstylist cuts off client's hair on live after she tried to skip out on paying $125. Damn! Who asked you to go to the hair salon without money? Why are we doing these things? And is that even real? That's what I was saying before. It's so hard to decipher about what's real or not real on the internet anymore. This could be a gag. Chicago, like, cause come on, you've already wasted your time to do the poor girl's hair, and now she over here trying to run out, making matters worse. Tell you the truth, I might have cut her hair off, but I tell you the truth, I would have told her to just get the fuck out of here, and I don't never want to see you again. I possibly would have kept her ID so I could show up to wherever her house is, so I could try to collect the money from her parents or who the fuck is watching her. You know what I'm saying? That's just if you ask me. That's my entitled opinion. You know what I mean? But who asked you? Who asked to let this person go anywhere? Look like an adult. So who asked you to do this? Damn. Hey, let's move on. Heartwarming. Beyonce gets emotional in the behind the scenes of Mufasa, the Lion King, with daughter Blue Ivy. Aw. Who asked you for that? That's a mother. Of course she's gonna get emotional. What the fuck? Y'all be acting like Beyonce ain't a human being. Damn. Chick tries to convince her sugar daddy to buy her a bag on live stream. Film's whole experience. You see what I be trying to say? Nothing's private no more, man. Look, look, he's tricking on the chick, and he can't even do it in private. She's gonna show you exactly how she does the whole thing. What do y'all think? 50 Cent says the system is guilty of what Drake is accusing of them. Here's why. I mean, I'm a big fan of 50. I ain't never gonna tear the homie down. So, I mean, it's a business, you know. And unfortunately, it's a big business. So to go on to what I'm saying, when you have such a big brand, and under that brand has so many umbrellas under that brand, things like this can happen. You know, Universal is such a big company. Of course, they're going to be, taking in your record, selling in your record, and also selling the opponent's record. You know, but again, it's all in fair business. It has nothing to do with personal thing. It's all business. You can come in with your record, and your record is going to sell a million records, and we're going to help you push that back so we can get more money off our return. But in the same, you may be battling with Joe Blow down the street, who's been making diss records at you that's also pulling in a million. We're also going to back that because unfortunately that's our artist, but there's nothing we can do. The fact that you're having a beef or a squabble is just your personal problem. That has nothing to do with business. So personally, I believe the allegation that Drake is bringing up is true, but I don't think it's going to hold any weight in court because this is the game of music. This is just what it is. I own I own an establishment, and under the establishment, there's many different artists, and none of these artists are supposed to are not to say supposed to get along, but they're living their life. And if this artist has a problem with this artist, my only objective is to sell. I'm not going to decline my sales to, make your sales more. No, because I have to make the sales for both parties. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what Drake is accusing the company of doing, of course they've been doing it. Everybody does that shit. I if I start my own record company, I get four guys. Somewhere down the line, these four guys could have like you know, have a beef or have a miscommunication. And then when that miscommunication goes through, now it's a squirrel. Now they're making songs. I still have the label. I still have to produce these songs for them. I still have to make us money, regardless of um of differences or preferences. You know what I'm saying? That's just the business line of it. And I've always said that, and a lot of people don't understand that. There's a business side of things, and you have to understand business. The same thing with with the argument about the contracts they're giving these guys. I'm like, listen, if I give you $1 million to start your life and career, man, I'm not looking for $1 million back. That's insane. Especially if you took my 1 million and turned it into 50 or 100 million. You took my 1 million and turned it into that much. I need a good return back. That's just the only possible way business works. I gave you that money to start you up. It's only right that you give me a good return back. I don't need 50% of it, but I need a good return back. I helped you get there. Of course, it was your ideas and your craft and your art. Sure, sure, whatever. I don't care. But it was still my money. You can't borrow $1 from me, turn my dollar into 100 and be like, oh, thanks, man. I just need to get that $1 out. That's insane. That's bad business. That builds a bad rapport. No one would want to do business with you like that. That's not how business is done. Moving on. Drag that out. Okay. Moving on. Morally, I couldn't stay in that camp. Dame Dash reacts to people saying that Jay Z is next and allegations against Diddy. Yo, no bullshit. Who be asking Dame Dash to come on any of these podcasts after we done saw Boy's teeth fall out? I'm sure now we need to be, giving him his flowers for being part of the rock, giving him his flowers for being part of the culture and all that. But man, stay away from the interviews, man. Stop doing these interviews. Who asked you to do any more interviews? I know you need the money. But what you need to do is promote something else besides this shit that you got with Jay-Z going on, man. Don't let them keep bringing you into this bullshit, man. Do better, man. No one asked you to keep going, letting your money go down like that. Okay, just like that. Now you got to make sure your headlights don't get stolen. Yeah, motherfuckers are stealing everything. Pull up, get your headlights stolen. You know what I mean? I don't know why those headlights need to be stolen, but whatever. All right. Whoa, Shelby police sergeant shoots man who stabbed him in the neck. Okay, why wouldn't you shoot him? He stabbed you in the neck. You hurt. I mean, neck's a lot of arteries in there. You know, who asked you not to shoot him? And who asked anybody to report this shit? I mean, obviously, shot the person needs to report it, but I guess so. I guess. Um, see here, Luigi Mangione. That's a fucking crazy name. Charged with the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Wow, yeah. See how quick they got his name and shit? Former classmate of United Healthcare CEO, suspected shooter Louis Mangione speaks out. Who asked you? You see, this is the part. This is how crazy the world is. You went to school with him, and so now you believe we need to have any information that's given to us. Who asked you? You went to school with him 30 years ago, 15 years ago. You don't fucking know this guy. You fucking knew he was a fucking insane dude. Why ain't you never stopped? Frisk him. Tell anybody that he had some shit. I seen this clip. Sheesh, driver plows through a car dealership after they refuse to take the car back and refund him. Wow. So he drove the car in there. Wow, who actually do that? Now you're gonna go to jail. Now you're definitely gonna have to go to jail, pay for the fucking, construction there, and you're possibly gonna still keep the car because the judge ain't gonna give a fuck because you did that shit. Wow. Russian soldier, Russian soldier taking a nap casually chucks away a grenade on him by a Ukrainian drone. Wow, that's gangster. Who asked you not to be a fucking gangster ass Russian soldier? You know what I'm saying? Man, who asked you not to do that? That's crazy. Sheesh. Deshae Frost tried tackling a female on the stream and got picked up and tossed around like a little kid. Hey, yo, who actually do that shit on your stream? Why is trying to tackle a female and then you getting tossed around like a rag doll? Like who asked for that? Like who asked for that content? Hmm? Why are we asking for that type of content? Is there no other content that they need to make like good for people to watch anymore? Did we produce kids who just have no excitement for creating shows, like actual episodes, like shit with real content? Or they're just prone to making something to spike your heart rate or spark your interest and then like leave like they're worse than drugs too, these fucking people. That's my opinion. Anyways, moving on. Streamer Neon got scammed by a local in Jamaica after he paid him to smoke and chill with his friends. But as soon as he got the money, he ran. I mean, who asked you to go to Jamaica and pay just a random local? Especially with some money, you probably gave him a lot of money. Who asked you to do that? Hmm? Fucking streamers. They just do anything. But again, even though he ran, this is not a negative for the streamer because then the streamer is gonna be like, wow, look how many people are going to stream and watch this and view it. Fucking ridiculousness, man. I blame that dude who made that show ridiculousness. Because now look what he's done. Everyone's got a platform to show you ridiculous shit that goes on or does. That ass perfect, baby. Boss man D-Lo gets Glorilla on his Shake That Ass remix. Yeah, I seen Glorilla without the makeup. I mean, I still think she cute. She alright. To me in my opinion, I think Glorilla calm 5, 4.5. You know what I'm saying? When she get all dolled up, she can be a 6. Get the makeup and the hair and all that, but as soon as she take all that off, yeah, she a calm 4.5. You know what I mean? I ain't saying I'm no 10. I'm just saying she a calm 4.5. I'm just being honest. 50 Cent reacts to Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Blue Ivy attending the premiere of The Lion King Mufasa amidst the Jay-Z rape allegation. Hey, yo, 50, who asked you, bro? Let that man live his life. It's horrible that black people are tearing black people down, but that's what a lot of them are looking for you to do. And a lot of these sites are owned by these white people, and they're like, word, let me go ahead and use that 50 Cent is doing. Let me go on that, jump on there, and you know what I'm saying? They're using that shit against us, brother. Don't do it, man. Who asked you to jump on there and even question or give any comments? 50? That'd be the problem. I'm pretty sure a lot of them grown niggas be like, yeah, 50. I have no problem with you making these jokes against me, but sometimes some of the platforms you go and you do it on are owned by these white people who are making bank off that shit. And they're praying you go and do it. That's my entire opinion. Wow, that time when a fan asked if only Beyonce could sign his book and Beyonce didn't let that slide. You go, girl. She's like, no, nigga, I ain't letting that. Yeah, why would you go in there and ask just for Beyonce? He knew something he didn't know. Thick Latina, thick Latin mommy got them yams jiggling like a whole water bit out here. Yo, that's all I see on the internet now. Big booty, and it's it's kind of crazy because it's like, yo, as a pretty woman, you don't gotta do shit but just put on some scat outfit, or you don't have to put on a scat outfit. You could put on some sweatpants and a shirt, and if it's jiggling, you get some views. But if you're a man, you put on that shit, oh, you're gonna get some views, all right. Let's skip that one. Millie schools the world with some strip club etiquettes, and the internet is out here taking notes like it's a master class. Why? Because we wasn't taking strip club etiquettes from the dudes before him that were doing it. Man, who asked this guy to give us some strip club etiquettes? Uh footage services of Luigi Mangione being led into a police station in Pennsylvania during his first appearance following his arrest. Wow. Who asked you not to kill him and then end this? Usually that's how it happens. They kill that guy and they don't know what happens. They never have the information to tell you what happened or why he did it. Anyways, let's go. Let's keep moving on. Um, Probably do a few more of this. Rising trend that's hard to ignore. Why so many young adults are still living with their parents in the U.S. because it's fucking the economy is trash. Who asked you not to notice? Hmm? Who asked you not to know that the economy is trash and that's how we have to fucking live now? Mm, all right, a lot of the fucking Mangione bullshit. Let's go on to CNN. Yeah, suspected serial killer is a scion of wealthy Baltimore family. You hear that shit? That's where he got the fucking silencer from. I tell you that, because it's hard to get a silencer on the street. And he's only 26. He's only 26. Wow. Killing as a symbolic takedown. Wow. Wow. Franklin fire in Malibu burned an area the size of two football fields every minute. God damn. Who actually not to report that more live? Like, damn, that's a big ass fire. That look like some shit we're watching from space. Shit. HPV testing preferred over PAP for cervical cancer screening starting at age 30. Task force draft recommendation says. Wow. Wow. Who asked for that? Hmm? Pretty sure a lot of people did. Boeing finally gets back to work after 2-month work stoppage. Well, is Boeing going to stop killing us in the air with their shit? Hmm? Who asked y'all to stop working? We need more information to make sure that shit works. Um, EPA bans two common solvents whose health problems have been known for decades. What? Hey, yo, that's crazy. The EPA bans two common solvents. Let's click for shits and giggles. Let's see what this fucking solvent is. That's insane. The ban involves, oh my gosh, trichloroethylene or TCE, a cancer causing chemical that is common in manufacturing, can be found in water sources and properties around the world, as well as all consumers, users, and many commercial users of perchloroethylene or PCE, a solvent used in industries as a dry cleaning, manufacturing, and automobile repair. Wow. We should be able to sue these people. How come you wasn't giving us this information before? Jesus. This is what I'm trying to say. The government be giving us shit to kill us. And then you can't even sue the government. Wow. New study shows what's happening in aging brains to make seniors a target for scammers. Well, listen here. Seniors are being targeted for scammers because seniors are always picking up the goddamn phone. Okay? If they stop picking up the phone, stop answering and opening emails, they wouldn't be scammed. No one cares about what the fuck you're doing at your big ass age. Sit down, take a nap, go outside, drink coffee, and enjoy life. You won't be scammed. Man, shout out to Jamie Foxx revealing this new, Netflix. They say he suffered a brain bleed and a stroke. Wow. Wow. Okay, look at this shit. China leader Xi Jinping warns the US against restarting the trade war. Wow, yeah, because they said as soon as Trump comes in, he's going to be putting up them tariffs again, and we saw what happened when he did them tariff shit last time. You know, what I'm saying? So wants to make tariffs great again. Here's why the strategy may work. See, he's gonna be taxing all them people, man, to give them the money, to give us some money back. All right, that's enough for this CNN. I don't want no notification. Jamie Foxx tears up by revealing what happened during his medical emergency. Yeah, I would tear up too. Glad Jamie Foxx is doing good. I mean, who asked you not to give us this information sooner? You know what I mean? And why use this as only the promotion for your fucking your stand up? You know, why do we have to go through that? We shouldn't have to go through that as people, man. I'm just saying. Jane Alexis turns head after posting these photos amid rumors involving Blueface and Krishan. Nobody really gives a fuck. Who asked you to post? This is what I be saying about women. You don't have to do shit. You don't gotta do nothing. You can post a picture of your body, and then boom, you're lit on the internet. The work sometimes for women, it's more easier than what the work for a man would have to be. Like I couldn't go out and put um a spandex on or a small underwears on a jock strap and then go on the internet and then hope to get 1.5 million views. Or for me to just to open my TikTok and then just start jumping up and down and hope to get 100 likes. Shit won't happen. You know, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do an experiment, see how that works. But anyway, moving on. Sweetie addresses 21 Savage data rumor after social media calls her out. Nobody cares who you're dating and if it's 21 Savage. Who asked you? A lot of people are just looking for fucking news. Jess Hilarious poses alongside her boyfriend in holiday photos. Who cares? We didn't even know you even had a man. They anything to give news out. Anything to give news out for me to click. And I'm not clicking that bullshit. Florida man charged for allegedly murdering. Wow, go back to that. For allegedly murdering his wife for calling off the engagement. That's insane. How didn't you know your husband was fucking killer material? A lot of y'all be sleeping with people y'all don't even know the extent of who they are, how far they could go. You know? All right, that's it for the shade room. I don't like the way the shade room's internet is or the web pages. It's just trash. All right. And this segment is still the Who Asked Shoes. We'll go through some. Oh, look at that. I put NF instead of NFL. Ain't that some shit? Spell.com. we'll go through some of these, all right? Because lately I've been placing some bets, and the games recently have been fucking trash. Excuse my language again. Let's go back a couple days. Let's go back a few days. You know what? Let's go back. Let's go back Thursday. Yeah. So let's go back to this day. Okay. A lot of y'all may not watch the NBA, could care less for the NBA, but you should. It's fucking basketball. It's basketball season, y'all. And a lot of y'all probably saw the Juan Soto fucking trade to the Mets. That's a piece of shit. You know the Yankees was gonna give him the same amount of money, but 5 million less. But he wanted to go to fucking the Mets for 15 years. Could you imagine signing someone for 15 years? That's a sentence. I would never take that fucking contract. I'm like, man, you got me for 5, 10 years, the max. I'm not doing 15 years. I'm not prisoned here. What if this team sucks after 5 years? Like, Jesus Christ. But anyways, moving on. Cleveland beat Denver, which is ultimately a good thing because Cleveland is a better team than Denver, even though Denver has, Jokic, who's one of the best, centers out there in the league, but more guys on Cleveland. Denver isn't really that fully healthy to be fighting. But before we get there, that's going to change. As you can see here, Denver has beat Cleveland. Dallas was whooping that ass. A lot of these times, these teams was doing good. Look at that score, 137 and 101. That's a good score because who the fuck is on Washington? The Knicks beat Charlotte. I think LaMelo was still hurt. OKC smacked the shit out of Toronto. You see the scores. Look at that, 129 to 92. Memphis beat Sacramento by like 5. The Pelicans beat Phoenix, a KD-less Phoenix. And then Chicago beat, I think, a Wemby-less San Antonio. Golden State and Houston, that was a close game. That's expected because Houston has a lot of young boys, but they have a great center, a great point guard, you know what I mean? A good system over there, a great coach as well. And they're playing Golden State, who's a fucking franchise team. Let's go on. Look at that. Philly beat Orlando, not a bad score. Look at that, 102 to 94. What was that like? Over 196, probably under 204, 220, 210 would have been that game. Um, Atlanta beats the Lakers only by 2, which is that's a close call. A lot of us expected that. I mean, Atlanta has Trey Young, has a lot of guys over there. Boston beats Milwaukee, it's expected. Um, Indiana beats Chicago, that's expected. Sacramento kills San Antonio, probably because they didn't have Wemby there, 141-13. That explains it. Minnesota beats Golden State, possibly they didn't have Steph Curry there. Let's go. Here's where the week started going crazy. Utah beat Portland. Now let's go through the box score of this. I can go through the box score of this bullshit. Go through the box score of this bullshit of a fucking game. The Utah Jazz, okay? The Utah Jazz. They didn't get beat by some fucking high class thing. They got beat by the Utah Jazz. Okay? Let's go through Utah Jazz's fucking lineup. Let's see who played the most. Walker Kessler played 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes, 5 from 8. Okay, he didn't shoot no threes. 3 from 4 from the free throw line. He had 17 rebounds. Fucking 17 rebounds. 11 defensive, 6 offensive, 2 assists, 5 blocks. Jesus Christ. Only 13 points though. That's the shit I don't be understanding. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you played 30 minutes, but you only dropped 13 points. You had fucking 17 rebounds. I guess you're doing a lot of rebounds. You can't drop all them points. Who scored the most on that team? Here's the fucking slammer. Johnny Juzang, who played 25 minutes, 8 for 14, dropped 22 points against the Portland fucking Trailblazers. Who the fuck is Johnny Juzang. 6 for 11, Johnny? That's what you're doing? 2 rebounds? You're trash. You're trash. 4 fouls? Jesus Christ. 22 points. 6 for 11 from 3. He shot 11 of them threes. Made 6 of them. Kid is a fucking beast. Look at no Jordan Clarkson, no Patty Mills. You think they lost because of no fucking Jordan Clarkson? Keontae George was there. Colin Sexton was there. John Collins was there. These guys whooped the shit out of fucking Portland. Look what John Collins did. John Collins played 28 minutes, 7 for 10, 1 for 1 from 3. Look at his rebounds. He only had 3 rebounds. He's a forward. He's a big forward too. Walker Kessler, along with Makai Porter, were the only ones that got them rebounds. Look at that. He got 10 rebounds, 15 points. Keontae George, 24 points. I mean, sorry, wrong line. All right, yeah, Keontae George, 17 points. Makai Porter had all these fucking rebounds, 2 points. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Make sure I see that right. Makai Porter, 5 points. 5 blood clot points. That's horrible. People are placing bets for people to score and get these fucking shits. They're not getting it. 7 assists from Colin Sexton. Wow. Look what fucking these guys do. Jeremy Grant, Kamara, DeAndre Ayton, a center, only played 17 minutes. 3 for 7. You know how many boards he got? 4. He played 17 minutes as a center. He only got 4 rebounds and 6 points. He's trash. He needs to be traded. Given to the free agency. Jeremy Grant, 28 minutes, 6 for 11, 3 boards, 19 points. At least we could be like, all right, you made some more points, 4 from 8 from 3. Okay. Okay, you know. Shaden Sharp, 28 minutes, 1 for 8 from 3, 3 for 12, 10 points. Anthony Simons, 14, 2 for 17, 6 for 15, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So you somewhat look good. Jabari Walker, look at this bullshit. This shit. 1 point. Delano Bantan, 19 points. Look who they letting score. Bantan, Chris Murray, Anthony Simons. Disgusting game. I couldn't fucking believe that this was going on, you know? I couldn't fucking believe it. All right. Now let's go on to the next day. Saturday. Oh my goodness, atrocious. All right. Washington. Let's see the box score. Washington Wizards. The fucking Washington Wizards, all right? The Washington Wizards beat Denver, who is a fucking championship team. Look at that shit. They spoiled Jokic 56. Let's look at this box score. Jokic played 38 minutes, 16 rebounds, 8 assists, 56 points. Michael Porter Jr., 11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Christian Braun, 14 points, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 rebounds. Michael Porter Jr. was 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. Jesus Christ. Russell Westbrook, 7 points. He played 32 minutes, 7 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists. Couldn't even get the fucking triple-double, you fucking goon. Julian Schroeder, 32 minutes, 18 points. Jesus Christ. No Murray. Now look at goddamn Wizards. Bilal Coulibaly played 40 minutes and only got 6 points. How do you play so long? You get 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 points. And the team still wins. Justin Champagnie, 36 minutes. He played. You know what's crazy? I've always said this kid right here, Champagnie, He's a good player. Given the time and the time to develop, he'll become one of the great players in his class. Look at that, 23 points. That kid was 2 for 4, 9 for 13. All right. 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Valanciunas, 31 minutes, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks, 5 assists, 20 points. Jordan Poole had a total of 39 points. To total look, 40, he played 40 minutes and got 39 points. Now that's a fucking stat. Okay? You played 39 minutes, you played 40 minutes and got 39 points. That's a fucking stat. 12 for 26, 9 for 20. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of threes. He threw up 20 of them threes, only made 9 of them. 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Damn, 6 turnovers. That's a lot of turnovers. You know what I mean? That was the only one. Look at this guy. What? Carol Carrollton, 10 points. Gerard Butler, 12. Anthony Gill, 5. Look at Marvin Bagley, played 15 minutes and even scored. Johnny Davis, 13 minutes, got 7 points. This is ridiculous. You know? Someone was telling me, oh, they didn't have no Murray. You know, I knew they was going to lose. Like, lose by that much? Who do they have over there for the Wizards to be beating these goons? Hmm? And then here goes another game. Here goes another fuckery. The Knicks lose to the Detroit fuckery Pistons. To the Detroit Pistons. Look at this. Kate Cunningham played 35 minutes and dropped 29 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists. Fucking savage this kid is. 9 for 17, 5 for 8 from 3. Malik Beasley was 7 from 10 for 3, 23 points. Wow, Tobias had 13. Tim Hardaway had 11 points, 4 for 9, 4 for 8. Jesus Christ. They didn't even have Marcus Sasser. Didn't even play. And then you have an all-star cast: Anunoby, Hart, Mikal Bridges, Brunson. You know, I'll give it to them. They didn't have Cat that night. Okay, you don't have Cat, but are you telling me? Are you telling me fucking Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren are enough for them? Their combined fucking rebounds? Hmm? Look. Jalen Duren had fucking 3 rebounds. 3 fucking rebounds. Isaiah Stewart had 4. Josh Hart, 6 rebounds. I think I'm screaming. Precious Achua had 10 rebounds, 6 points. Trash. Brunson, 31 points, 11 for 21, 3 for 7. Oh, great. Mikal Bridges, 20 points. Oh, great. 8 for 17. Jalen Brunson out here 10 assists. Josh Hart had 6. It's just insane. A lot of these games and these players are losing and getting beat and underperforming. They're not even performing right. Like, who asked you not to go out there and score and make sure you drop 40? Who asked Josh Hart not to go out there and grab fucking 10 rebounds? Hmm? Who woke Kate Cunningham up and was like, hey, Kate, you need to go out there and drop 30 on him. Drop 29 and get a triple double. Like, what? I think a lot of these coaches underestimate the players that they're going against, and they just be like, you know what, fuck it, go out there. They're not gonna beat, and then they get beat. They're like, oh, what the fuck just happened? How did we just lose? I tell you how you lost. You didn't do your homework. You didn't do no homework at all. Memphis beats Boston, which is ridiculous. Look at the box score of that. Boston, an elite team, got beat. It's a close game, you know. But come on, this is insane. Look at the scores. Jaylen Brown, 10 for 14. That's good, 22 points. Tatum only had 17 points. He played 37 minutes. 6 for 21. Horrible, atrocious. 1 for 10 from 3. Kristaps Porzingis played 33 minutes, only had 19 points. He's 3 for 10 from 3. That's disgusting. 6 for 17, I guess. 8 rebounds. Tatum had fucking 13 rebounds over his center. Hmm? He had 12. Tatum had 12 rebounds. Porzingis only had 8. He had 4 more rebounds over his center, and then 9 assists. Almost got a triple double. Derek White, 10 fucking points. He played 37 minutes. What the fuck is he doing out there? 6 rebounds, 3 assists. What the fuck are you doing out there? Wasting our fucking FanDuel money? Is that what it is? You're taking my money, my chips, right? You sick fuck. You're taking my money, and then you're like, I'm just gonna ask tonight. Drew Holiday, 30 minutes, 23 points. That's more likable. Look at this. Look at this. 29 minutes. Peyton Pritchard. And listen, Peyton Pritchard played 29 minutes and scored 22 points. 7 for 12, 6 for 11, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. You hear this shit? Sam Hauser, 0 for 2, 0 for 2, 9 minutes, dead. Celtics lose. You believe this shit? You can't make any of this. I'm not making this up. It's true stats, people. These are true and real stats, all right? That was Saturday's games. That was the fuckery I was dealing with Saturday when I almost got a heart attack because I couldn't believe the Celtics lost to Ja Morant, who's not even dunking. He only had like 1 dunk of the game. Okay, ridiculous. It was atrocious. My heart was broken. Okay, Denver beats Atlanta coming week. You know what I mean, 141 to 111. You know, because that Denver had lost that scum of a team, and then Miami beats Cleveland, who's like a top tier team. Orlando beats Phoenix with a Banchero less and a 1 less Wagner brother less. They beat them. Washington loses to Memphis, but in some way they beat Denver, who has Jokic, who almost dropped 60. Make that make sense. Well, how much sense does that make? Doesn't make any sense to me. You know, that doesn't make no sense. It doesn't sit well with me. These players are not playing; they're assing out there. They're not even assing out there. They're just doing asinine shit. Let's go to the NFL. I want to discuss Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, man, he hurts me every day. I swear Jalen Hurts has it out for every player on his team. Jalen Hurts is like, you know what? I need to score and only me. All right. I'm gonna throw it to you guys. I'm gonna let you do your thing, but I need to score and only fucking me. Okay. All right. Green Bay over Detroit. No, I had Detroit over Green Bay. I knew that shit was going that way. I had Miami over the Jets. No problem. I had Minnesota over the Falcons, no problem. New Orleans over the Giants, no problem. Philly over Carolina, no problem. I have Pittsburgh over Cleveland, no problem. I, unfortunately, for some fuck reason in my head, thought the Raiders were going to beat Tampa Bay. I also, in my head, thought Tennessee was going to beat a Trevor Lawrence-less Jacksonville, but they didn't. They lost. I thought. I thought again. This is where my tickets fucked up. A bad choice picking the Raiders over Tampa Bay. I would take responsibility of that. But Jacksonville beating the Tennessee Titans with no Trevor Lawrence, and then Seattle beating Arizona. Oh my jeez, oh my lord. You know, I just couldn't get a win. They were just trying to find a way to screw me. You know, and then here's the last one to really get it all. Buffalo loses to the Rams. Now that game, I was like, okay, Buffalo's got this in the bag, and for somehow the Rams pull it out. Jeez Louise, you know, I don't know, man. Look at this more shit. Look more bullshit. I had the Bears beating San Francisco, but I also had San Francisco beating the Bears as well. I had Kansas City beating the Chargers, but I had Dallas beating the Bengals. Look how close that game was. That was a fuck up too. I take responsibility to that, you know. But a lot of these dudes didn't score, didn't do shit. Jalen Hurts was taking all the fucking credit for the touchdown. This is tiring. Anyways, we come to the end of this stream, the end of this broadcast. Take a look at some of this stuff here. Look at that. Apple and Sony are working on Vision Pro support for PSVR2 controllers. That looks ugly to hold that shit. Oh shit, Raspberry Pi's new computer can power an optional $100 display. Ooh. The more they get with these Raspberry Pis, if you don't know, this Raspberry Pi could do remarkable things. You won't even need a whole laptop. You can create a laptop just using a Raspberry Pi. But anyway, we've come to the end of the podcast. All right. And at the end of the podcast, I know you're all like, oh no. Hold your applause. Hold your applause. All right. Thank you. Thank you. We come to the end of the podcast where we have to, do our due notice, our due diligence, you know. And we have a lot of sponsors I have to go ahead and let y'all know about as well. So we'll go through a couple of our sponsors. Let's go through. Don't forget to check out Focus International for all your music needs, shows, live DJs, performances, music, anything like that needed. Go ahead and check out Focus International. That's on all social media platforms. Again, that's PHOKUS International. Check him out for all your music needs. He's great with all the musics. Bring it to you. Make sure your events are well performed and well vibed out. He makes sure you're good to a T. All right. Moving on with our next sponsor, we got Mondays with Johnny. If you're in the Minnesota area and you need a realtor, check out Mondays with Johnny. Check out Johnny Phil's Amy. He is a realtor out there in Minnesota, one of the phenomenal ones out there in Minnesota. He'll go out there and sell you the best and also make sure that your house gets sold to some of the best as well. All right. Also, a lot of inspirational, motivational speeches and information regarding um, real estate and finances and marketing and banking and stuff like that as well. So always tune in Mondays with Johnny. That's on all social platforms. That's Johnny Realtor, Johnny Phil's Amy. That's FILSAIME. That's Johnny Phil's Amy Realtor out of Minnesota. All right. We've also got another few more sponsors here. We got the Green Check Community. You can also check that out. You know what? Let me go ahead and see if I can. Let's see. Let's see if we can look up Johnny. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. Look at this. Look at this beautiful looking guy here, huh? Hmm. All right. I don't know if that's his address, but look at that. He works for the bank branches. He can get you all your help. He's also a coach, Caldwell banker. There you go. Let's see. Real estate agent, huh? Sales. If you ever need him to contact, his contact information here, email here, all that information. Again, he's on all these social media platforms. If you ever need him, you reach out and you can get that information. All right, I'll give you the Focus International one as well, so you can go ahead and see that. All right, I think it's spelled like that. Okay, all right, DJ Super Focus for Focus International. I'm definitely not signing in. So that's Super Focus International for all your music needs. Global Life Enhancer, International DJ, NY, living by my terms. Ask me how. So get focused. He's also a global DJ. Click the link, follow. I'll drop his tags in my podcast as well. Definitely check him out. He does a lot of promotions, a lot of parties. Great person, great personality. Check him out. We'll go ahead and get to our next sponsor, which is the Green Check Community, brought to you by Zuku, Danny Zuku. Here we go. Yeah, so here we go. So Danny Zuku, easy with the sports. All right, tune in with my man here. He's always got the Green Check Community on. People who sold the parlays last night. He gives you all his rundowns of people that's giving him good bets, or people that's selling on his bets. Also gives out a lot of free bets. You can join the community. I'll put his information there. You can tag him, tag on to some of the bets, follow on, get through. He also does a lot of his own, podcasts, or does his own little Instagram and family stuff. So Instagram and Facebook stuff. So that's also being sponsored by us here on Untitled Opinions and Who Asked Shoes. I have another one. Let's go to Realty by Chris. All right, let's see if we can get him to pop up. Realty by Chris. Let's see. Let's see if we can find him. Oh, here we go. So Christopher Alexander. Holy shit! It just booted me out and brought me somewhere else. Let's see if I can open his LinkedIn from here. Ah, okay. Let's click on him quick. Jesus Christ. Um, let's see. Mm, all right. Well, anyways, I'll provide his link and information. But Realty by Chris, he also does a lot of real estate out of New York, out of the Brooklyn area, more than likely just out of New York. Also does notary if you need any of that information. He could definitely help you with Section 8 help, apartment findings, housing findings, any of that things of that nature if you need it. I did want to go over some music today, but I believe we're running over. Like we're at 2 hours. It's a long podcast. It's probably like my longest one I've done so long or so far. Think about my other sponsors. I think that's about it. Shout out to the Shade Room. Shout out to World Star. Shout out to CNN. Shout out to NBA. Shout out to NFL. Shout out to FanDuel. Yeah, I don't have anything else for right now. Oh yeah, Zara. So this podcast is always brought to you by Zara's. Go down there and get your shit from Zara's. All right, your best clothing line. I'm over here messing up my. I'm sounding like Mike Tyson and shit. Zara's. Go to Zara's. I love to get my collection from there. Me and my kid, we go to Zara's all the time. We buy all the fucking clothes that we can buy. Go out there and let them know that Ray Karuse from Untitled Opinion sent you there. They'll give you a discount of $0. All right. And that discount can get you a lot of these good items. You can even flip on the discount, double up the zero, and even buy more clothes. All right. But over there, if you like the trends and the clothes, that's why I shop. So definitely shop there too. That's all I got for you guys for today. Thank you for stopping in. I always thank you guys for sharing this time with me. I thank you. And if you're listening in anywhere, stay great, stay dangerous. Don't ever let nobody take you down. Don't let them ever belittle you. All right, you're great. You're always gonna be great. And sometimes it may take time for them to notice your greatness, but I see that you're being great. All right, I notice it. If you listen to this podcast, I'm here for you. All right, we're looking out. Be safe, people. Let me go ahead and finish the screen, and then end the stream. All right.